Now, using the LA2 method, you're able to promote digital items as well as physical items. Okay, so you can go ahead and you can promote just about anything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the little bit of research required in order to make this work. Now, anybody that knows me or maybe bought one of my products in the past knows or should know that I tend to go after what I call desperate or embarrassing niches, and there's a very good reason for that. Imagine you have a rather private problem and you're looking for a solution. The first place you're going to look for that solution is the internet, which makes going after that particular niche really profitable, because people are more likely to buy from the internet than they are to go to a shop for a solution for their rather private problem. Okay, so the place that I usually start looking for these kind of niches is over at ClickBank. Now, I often get people say, well, I can't find a niche. Well, there are absolutely hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these niches. Sometimes it will take you a little bit of time to find one, but once you do, this niche can turn out to be exceptionally profitable. Don't worry about competition too much, because usually there's very little competition. Okay, so most people miss out on these niches, and it really is something they should be looking at. It's something I've done for an awful long time. In fact, if it hadn't been for these type of niches, then I'd still be fitting people's bathrooms for a living. Okay, so let's pop over to ClickBank now for the first phase of the research, and you can see exactly how I do it. We start the research by coming back over to ClickBank and going into the ClickBank Marketplace. Okay, you'll find the link just up the top, and then the ClickBank Marketplace will look just like this. Okay, so what we're interested in here, unless you've got an actual product or niche in mind, is the categories section down here. Now, there's actually two ways of doing it. These are the main categories. So you can click on one of those, but what I would recommend you do is click on the little white arrow next to the category. So this one here. And of course, I'm going to start off in the health and fitness category. So if I click there, you'll see it opens subcategories. Now, all of these are the same, and you can enter any niche that you like, but I'm going to start here. And I'm just going to choose one of these. So let's start off with remedies, which is always a good one. Now, you can leave the filter set at popularity, or you can switch over to gravity if you like, but popularity is just as good. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to scroll down until you find something that you think you might be interested in. Now, some of these are going to be hard to get into, but on the whole, most of them are going to work out just fine. So you've got diabetes, you've got herpes, blood sugar, I suppose that would be diabetes as well, tinnitus, and the list goes on. You don't necessarily have to pick one from the first page, but as I say, you can just carry on through until you see one that you like. Now, this isn't an exact science. You will have to pick out a few different niches until you find one that works. And the reason for that is because some of these niches are already going to be crowded, and the keywords are going to be hard to rank for. And what that means is your PR or your press release is going to find it more difficult to get onto page one. So what we're trying to achieve here is to find buying keywords relating to these niches, say in that respect there, or in this particular niche here it would be tinnitus. So buying phrases relating to tinnitus, for example. Okay, so you would go over to the Google Keyword Planner, which we'll do in just a second, to find buying related keyword phrases. So as I say, go through the first as many pages as you like in the subcategories that you're interested in, and find something that looks interesting. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to copy down some of the broader niches in these subcategories. In this case it would be hypothyroidism, so we'll copy that and just copy them down into a notepad. And herpes, doesn't have to be too exact, but just copy down a few to begin with. You'll find all kinds of weird and wonderful niches using this method. Some of them you'll never have heard of before in your life, but believe me, you can make an awful lot of money out of these types of niches. Not even sure what that is. Now don't worry if you copy down quite a few and then you find that you can't find any keywords for it. Just keep going through and find something else. It really is as simple as that. And you know, there's absolutely hundreds and hundreds of niches and subcategories to niches, so there really are opportunities around every single corner. So just for example, I'm actually going to do this for real as well, so you'll see me do it from start to finish, but I've just copied down a couple there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the Google Keyword Planner. Sorry, it would help if I could spell. Now you will need an AdWords account for this. I already have one, but I don't run AdWords as such because for some reason they banned me some time ago. And if you've been into internet marketing for any length of time, you've probably been banned as well. So I'll just enter my password here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pull this screen over a fraction so you can see what I'm doing. And we're only interested in this section. Again, I'll say if you haven't got an AdWords account, you will need one in order to use the Keyword Planner. It's a free to use tool. If you have been banned from AdWords in the past, it's not an issue. You'll be able to sign up again. You won't be able to run ads, obviously, but you can still use the Keyword Planner. And I really would suggest that you do that. If you've got a keyword tool, then by all means use that. But if you're on a budget or you're just starting out, then use this free tool because it really does do the job. So we click there and then we'll put up our list of niches. We'll come over here, just paste that in there. And to begin with, let me see, I'm only going to be looking at the United Kingdom and the United States. English speaking, Google and search partners, nothing in negative keywords, pretty much as it is, and keyword filters. Now we can work in this section a little bit later on, but for now we'll just leave that as it is, and then we'll click Get Ideas. Okay, now it always opens at the ad group ideas. What we want to look at first is the keyword ideas. So this is the actual keyword that you entered. Okay, so looks like I've struck gold. So 301,000 with low competition. Now what you are looking at here is as many monthly searches, obviously, and low competition. Now sometimes you can get away with medium, but I would suggest that you go after low competition, even if that means that the average monthly searches is not fantastic. Try to get this over 1,000, so average monthly searches should be over 1,000 per month, and competition should always be low. Don't worry about any of this here. It's not important at all. We're just looking at low competition. Now, of course, hypothyroidism, or easy for me to say, this one here is a broad term. So although this looks fantastic, if somebody lands on a page or PR that's directed to a page from this phrase here, they're not necessarily going to be a buyer. So what we now need to do is we need to collect up a list of buying phrases. So if you don't actually know what this condition is, you might want to go over to say Yahoo Answers, for example. I often use Yahoo Answers, and they will sort of point you in the direction of the kind of phrases that people are looking at in this particular niche. I wish I'd picked one that I can actually say properly, but we'll stick with that for the time being. So first of all, we can, as I say, you could go over to Yahoo Answers, but you may want to just check out the ad group ideas as well, because that will often give you the buying phrases or an idea of what kind of buying phrases people are going to be looking for. So we've got remedies for thyroid. I mean, it says hi there, but what you'll find is if you open this one up here, you'll find a selection of keywords. Okay, that one looks pretty poor, so we'll leave that one alone. And it might transpire that this particular niche is not worth going after just because we found a great keyword that is a broad term. So that's not something we're going to be targeting. So let's take a look through the ad groups. And what we're kind of looking for is how to get rid of the condition or treatments or cures or how to stop it. I'm sure you kind of understand what I'm getting at, but these are actually buying terms. So let's say that you had a cold sore, for example. Now, just put in the phrase cold sore, I'll do it. If we look at keyword ideas, or keyword ideas, you can see cold sore 5,400 looks perfect, low competition, but in actual fact it's not great because it's just a broad phrase. What we're actually interested in is, say for example, best treatment for cold sores, or I could put up here, get rid of cold sores. Now, get rid of cold sores would be a buying phrase because people are entering those kind of terms into the search engine when they're looking for a solution. Okay, so that one in this case doesn't work out, that's much too low. But if we come down here, how to get rid of cold sores, 22,200 and low competition. So this would be a perfect key phrase to base your project on. You can also narrow the whole thing down by finding something that looks good and then copying that and adding that up here just to get some more ideas. Okay, so now you can see that obviously we've got that one there, and we've also got how to get rid of cold sores fast, which has 6,600 unique hits per month and low competition, and there's some really good ones in here. Actually, as I said, the case study was actually in this niche as well, so you can see there are quite a few keywords. So once you find something that looks interesting, what I suggest you do is copy the phrases that you're interested in, could be any of these, and then go over to Google and enter those phrases. Now the reason we're doing this, and this is particularly relevant if you're looking in anything to do with health, is you might come across a lot of authority sites which are going to make it really difficult for your PR to come into page 1 and to rank. Okay, so what you're really looking for on page 1 is, for example, Yahoo Answers. If they're on there, then you know it's going to be okay. If you've got a load of videos on there, you're going to be able to get onto page 1. But if you had, say for example, a load of sites, I mean, I'm in the UK, so NHS, National Health Service, if you had a load of authority sites like this on page 1, then the phrase that you've entered is not going to be worth going after. Hopefully that's clear. As I say, look for videos, look for press releases, look for document sharing sites, look for Yahoo Answers. If you find any one or more of those on page 1, then it's going to be worth taking another look at. Okay, so it's worth going after. Now before we go any further, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to take a look at the list of phrases and niches that you've jotted down on your notepad. What you're actually looking for is the most desperate niche there. Okay, now these are the kind of people that are going to come online, search for the phrase that you have there, something very, very similar, and they're going to be more inclined to purchase. Now this works in all kinds of niches. We've looked at the cold sore one, and I'm going to use that as an example right now, and I'm going to tell you that it's not the best niche in the world, but you can make money from it. The whole thing here really depends on how much money you want to make. Obviously you want to make a lot of money, but some of the more, how can I put this? Some of the more inspired audiences with the more desperate problems, you're going to find that it's harder to get your PR onto page 1. It's not always the case, but some of the easier niches like the cold sore one, for example, you might be thinking to yourself, well, who's going to come online and look for a solution to a cold sore when you can just wander into your local pharmacy and buy something over the counter? The truth is that there are a certain category of people that perhaps they have a social engagement coming up, so they want a solution really, really fast, or there are another group of people that are even embarrassed about having a cold sore on their lips, because at the end of the day a cold sore is basically herpes. So even those people don't want to leave the house, they want to look for a solution online, and that's going to be where you're going to make your money, and those are going to be the people that purchase from you or from your referral. So take a moment to reflect on the list that you have, and you're looking for the most desperate niche and the most desperate buying trigger. Now once you have your niche and you have your buying phrases sorted out, what you need to do is you need to find a very high quality product which solves the solution that people are looking for. Now you actually want to be helping these people. It's not just a case of just trying to make a quick buck. Obviously you want to be finding the best solution to their problem. So you're going to get less refunds that way. It's actually going to help them out. So there are quite a few platforms for which you can promote from. Obviously one of them is ClickBank. You will find a lot of digital products there, but there are also others. So we're going to start with ClickBank. We're going to go over there now, take a look at that. Now assuming that you have chosen a niche, take the broad term, and I'm going to put cold sores just for example up here, and then click the search. Now if you're going to promote a cold sore product, or any product, come to that, which is found on the ClickBank marketplace, you want to be looking for something with some decent gravity. Now what you will find in terms of gravity, if you've done any affiliate marketing before, you may have been told to look for really, really high gravity. Well, in these kind of niches, that's not always the case. So anything above 5, really. What you would need to do is come in to a particular niche, look at the products, and then just come down. That one's got a high gravity, so it's obviously selling reasonably well. This one here, I've promoted this one before. And you know, some of these, just pick the best ones in the category and then go take a look at them. What we'll do is we'll click that one now. This was the one with the highest gravity in the niche, so we'll click on there now. I'll just pull this screen up a bit. Okay, it's a pretty basic site, but it gets the job done. And then if we come over here, and this is the one I've promoted before, this is the one in the case study. Okay, I just prefer the look of this one. So as you can see, this is really going to be down to you. Look for something that does have gravity. Doesn't necessarily have to be the higher the better. Pick the leading couple and just decide between the two. I mean, some of them might have an awful lot of affiliates on board, some of them may not have so many, but providing they've got some gravity and they've been in the marketplace for some time, they're worth taking another look at. If you can find any feedback online for those products as well, that's going to help. But what I'm going to do now is just going to take you over to a site called CB Engine, and you'll be able to determine how long these sites have been in the marketplace. Because if you're going to be promoting ClickBank sites, they need to have been in the marketplace for a good 12 months. Okay, so CB Engine, there's actually a Pro. You can upgrade to a Pro, which you'd have to pay for, but they offer a free service as well. And all you really need for this system is their free service. So don't bother paying to become a Pro member. I'm just going to drag this screen over here because the bit that we're interested in is over here. So the only parts we need to do over here or worry about are adding the main phrase there. You may have to mess about with this a bit until you find the products. Sometimes the vendor will have listed it differently, but on the whole, if you put your phrase in there, and then if I just scroll down here, we're interested in products which are over a year old. Okay, so I've put days old there from the drop down menu, and 360 in there, and then click search. And then if I drag this screen over, you can see that there's a number of products. Now the two that we've looked at and the two with gravity are this one here, no idea why it doesn't have a graphic, and this one here. So if I go back over now, you don't have to do this, but it'll give you a better idea of what's selling. And we want gravity over, say, 5. Okay, so those two products, sorry, let's pull the screen over again. We've determined that these two products have been in the marketplace for more than 12 months, and we know that they have a gravity figure over 5. And in this particular niche, over 5 is enough to make money from. Now what we can do is we can find out how much money we're likely to make if we promote one of these products. So if I click there, and you can see that 96% of all sales are referred by affiliates, which is a great sign, and the average referral commission is just over $22. So that's reasonably good. If we just go back to the other one, basically the same. So 94% is referred, and the average referral commission is going to be 25.29, so slightly better. So either one of those would do, but you don't have to stop at ClickBank. As I've said, there are lots and lots of other networks. A great place to go and take a look for different affiliate programs is OfferVault. You can just come over here, put your main phrase in there and do a search. I don't think there's any for cold sores. I looked just now. No, nothing there. And if I just pause this for a second, if you're working in the health industry, then Market Health has an awful lot of health related products. These are all physical, tangible items which you can promote as well and receive a commission on. Most of these pay out around about $40 per item. So if you refer one of their products and it sells through your referral, then you're likely to get around between $40 and $45 for that one sale. I've had quite a lot of success with Market Health, so it's a great network and they always pay on time. So there are affiliate programs for just about everything you can come across online, but if you can't find one or nothing's obvious, what I suggest you do is enter the phrase or a couple of versions of the phrase in Google and then look for sites which are basically promoting something. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you another one of my sites, and this is in the how to get a bigger butt niche. I'm going to click on there. Now a site like this, you can see straight away it's monetized. Obviously it's mine, and what you can do is you can click on the products and you can find out the name of the products, and then you can do a search in Google with the product name and affiliate program, and that way you'll be able to find affiliate programs which are not always obvious. Okay, so just do a search in your niche. If you can't find an obvious affiliate program, do a search in your niche, find sites much like the one I'm showing you now, and look for the products they're promoting, and then track them all the way back and find out where the program is and just sign up for it. So at this point you should have three things set. You should have your niche, you should have a buying keyword or a group of buying keywords, and you should have a decent product which you can promote. Now if you're stuck on determining what is a desperate niche, what kind of niches you're going to be looking for, then I've also added a desperate niche PDF inside the download area. So take a look at that. And I'll also include a number of other sources, platforms, affiliate platforms you can take a look at if you can't find a product to promote in your particular niche.